Hello, everybody. Welcome back. So, lots of progress being made on everybody's beliefs. Um, I want to see where Octavian ended up after winning that argument. So, Octavian, you have a coup to enact. Where do you begin?
So I think what I do is first, I recognize that now that I don't have direct opposition from my party regarding this, um, my sense of urgency is like a little bit diminished. At least I'm comfortable letting them sort of get whatever their affairs sorted out. And in the meantime, I think I try to get Rubati on board to sort of start a kind of quiet recruitment process.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Okay. So, do you just tell Rubati like just go talk to people, or what's the way you do that? Because she's happy to tell you that like before you're coming here, no one took her seriously, and people don't still don't really take her seriously, or you.
So I have this reputation, this like national reputation thing, and I'm wondering if that can apply to the Plains folk in some
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah. All because we talked about it, right? You paid like the most amount for it, right?
Yeah.
So
So
all humans know of you. Everyone in town knows who you are.
yeah, so I feel like um maybe using like Rubati sort of already being on board, uh sort of I instruct her to go out and like connect the dots with this sort of reputation and my physical presence in the town, because
Hmm.
I feel like many of the people here don't necessarily like they know of me, but they haven't really clicked that like it's the same person that carries that reputation.
Hmm. Okay.
um
So is the plan here to like get anybody who has it, who's on the fence, to like come join the team to like embiggen the size of everybody's followers?
yeah, I think I don't want to be like, we're gonna like, you know are you guys gonna be ready at midnight to do this thing? It's more like getting their sort of tacit agreement that they are on board with our message, and should power transfer to our camp, they won't have any objections to it. And so having her sort of root out those people, and also in the process sort of gather intelligence for me on who will pose a problem outside of the like immediate government, if anyone.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. So just kind of like getting you want to use her to get an idea of the sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like strategy or tactics? Do you have those skills?
Let me
Something
see.
like that.
I
Yeah, strategy would be appropriate.
I really don't. No, just command and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're a doer. I'm just trying to think if there's like what the because obviously we need to put a role behind this. So your intent, I guess let's talk about the intent. Let's get that clear. So your intent for now for this thing is to like what do you want to have if, after the role that you don't have now?
I want uh to like tip the scale of support throughout the Plains folk in my favor.
Okay.
In favor of like my message over Marta's.
Yeah. Okay. And so what is that like? What are you telling people? Like, okay, there's a change in management coming. You better get on our side. Like, how explicit do you want to be about that?
I'm not doing any of this work myself, so I don't have the sort of, there's none of the like boasting around it. I mean, I would probably enlist Bernard to try to, accomplish some of that as well. But in terms of what Rubati's doing, it's more about like spread the legend, sort of stoke the fires of like that kind of more inspirational kind of message
Okay.
around people.
Yeah. 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 All right. Well, I'll have. I think everybody will. It'll be an oratory test. She's gonna go out and make some speeches and like gather some folks up. And you said you wanted to enlist Bernard's aid in this.
Yeah, I would, because
Okay.
I just assume Bernard is probably willing to begin with.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So Bernard, how are you gonna help?
Can I help Rubati write the speeches?
Yeah. What skill are you gonna use to help?
Yeah. Let me just look through here. I'm still learning. Oh no, I never did learn oratory. I can start to learn oratory. I think persuasion would probably be the best skill for me
Okay.
to.
So you're gonna help with persuasion. So you're helping with persuasion. What skill are you using, Octavian? Command to help?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so you're just like giving the kind of military
Yeah.
orders. And then
So,
how many dice is your reputation? Because I'm going to give those as an advantage to her.
um, 3.
Okay. All right. So she's got oratory 3 plus 4 extra dice. Let's see what the ob is going to be for winning folks over.
And this is just background,
Yeah,
but
of course.
I'm not, sort of in this in any way. Like this is all like I've set the commands for sort of my agents to go about this kind of subversive work in the meantime here while we're sort of taking the downtime. And I am not like actively promoting any of this. Um, and I'm sort of cultivating a sort of like plausible deniability in terms of like it being overt, it's not something that I'm orchestrating overtly.
Hmm.
And in terms of what I'm literally doing at that through this process is like I'm actually marveling at various like odd trinkets and clothing and things and going through different shops from day to day and just sort of buying up piles of sort of clothes that may be ceremonial or for like a specific purpose, but that I would just like to like adorn myself in for no real reason.
Awesome.
That's just sort of the background here.
Right. So you're just going around.
I'm just sampling their culture, like
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's another good word?
as a tourist.
Another good word we could use instead of sampling. You're appropriating it.
Oh,
You're
come now.
you're being
I would
appropriate
never.
with their culture. All right. Okay. So Octavian, you're going out there and like sort of. It's funny too because I'm sure that Saba and Sia like sees you like wearing the like the sash of a like tribe warrior or whatever and like
Yeah.
spending some money, throwing your money around a little bit and kind of like accumulating, taking up space. And okay, cool. So under your command, everybody goes out among the people. And the ob for this role is the most common will exponent in the crowd. So she starts to make like speeches, some of which I think she holds at your behest, really, or at your like in your presence, where all you have to do is just stand behind her, like looking impressive while she gives these speeches.
Hmm.
And I think. Yeah, she won't have the mask that Gretelin is making for her yet, but that'll come later. This is all still the quiet kind of like, yeah. And Bernard, you're helping, so we get a little montage of like Bernard kind of going over the speech and like everybody practicing, and Bernard kind of like listening by the fire. And I think that no matter what happens after this roll, success or fail, this is when Marta will realize like something is going on, like something is happening here, and she's gonna start to push back. So it's gonna be ob 3 to take some percentage of the clan warriors and some percentage of the lay people and move them over to your side to start building that group. Okay, so it's oratory 3 plus 4 extra dice against an obstacle of 3. Let's see how our friend at night in front of like the biggest bonfire they can manage. And initially, everybody's kind of like still dressed in their like late fall gear, but eventually she's giving these speeches, and there's like her breath is fogging in the night air, and through all of this, that red star we saw close, people's her initial speeches, like she's standing out in the light, the firelight, and all these speeches are given at night, in front of like the biggest bonfire they can manage. And initially, everybody's kind of like still dressed in their like late fall gear, but eventually she's giving these speeches, and there's like her breath is fogging in the night air, and through all of this, that red star we saw before, the star Himsa, is like glittering behind her as she gives these speeches. Um, and so there comes a time, like she finishes a speech and she steps down from her little like stone plinth, and there's like a good like a couple dozen, actually probably more than that, there's probably like closer to like 50 or 60 people, a mix of like warriors and the like older folk, and merchants and stuff of the tribe. They're starting to build up. There's like quite a good gathering here. And a lot of people, like, I think we see if we see the city, we see it starting to become misshapen, right? It was this sort of like circle with these like wedges cut out of it for the roads, but people are starting to move their tents and like cluster around the area where like Rubati is giving these speeches. So it's starting to become this like oblong shape instead. And everybody like steps down and looks at you, Octavian, and in the like firelight, yeah, she gives you this huge grin, like it's working. See your people, they're gathering at your feet. Yeah, so that's a thing that happens. You started to like gather up a tribe. It's been, I think now, I don't know, like a month. It's been like 30 or 40 days, because this stuff takes time.
Oh, Adam.
Yes.
I was thinking, given how things are going, it would be appropriate for my like gift, my big nice thing that I'm making, is actually going to go to Rubati at one such speech that we like put this mantle.
Yeah. So
Fire.
what I wanted to do is I want to set up, like all of you have started these actions. I want everybody to have one more opportunity to set up, and then we could have one like the big speech. And that'll be the scene where we'll zoom in, and that speech will be not necessarily interrupted, but that's when Marta will show up and be like, "No, fuck this, Rubati, get down from there, go and be in your place." But she'll be wearing the elven raiment and the dwarven mask, and like it'll be kind of a big deal. So let's do those. Let's do those rolls. We'll take one more. Obviously won't get through all of them now, but let's keep going with Octavian. So what else do you want to do, Octavian, to prepare for the big like moment that will come? Like you can sense it, right? You can sense that eventually like Marta is starting to learn. You're noticing some of her loyalists like hanging around these meetings and then leaving. She hasn't come to, they're starting to take you more seriously. She hasn't come to like confront you directly, but you do have an opportunity to do like another thing before you feel like that's going to happen.
I think what are Saba's like skills again? I totally forgot.
Saba and Sia, what is it you say you do here exactly?
What are we talking about?
Like
with regards to the coup?
No. Just like your skills on your sheet. Like what are your
what is it I do? Do?
Yeah.
I've got bow, mending, persuasion, weaving way, song of feasting, which is like a cooking skill, foraging, stealthy, song of paths and ways, sing, rhyme of the pathfinder, which is like tracking, observation, elven script, dignity of the wilderlands,
okay,
soothing, which is for healing.
I think I'm going to sort of cash in my sort of, I guess, enlistment of you after that duel, right? And sort of like the way in which you help is I go to you at some point and I ask, like, I need you to begin the process of gathering proper intelligence on the actual strength of Marta's inner circle and their patterns, during day and night, and report back. So
If you could just
yeah.
go do that, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of like quirks an eyebrow. You want me to spy on them?
Yes, precisely.
Very well.
And I, before you leave or anything, I'm like, Saba and Sia, this task I give you is one out of respect for your concern over the coming actions. I do not forget our disagreement, but you must understand you have pledged to help. And though I will not ask you to draw blood in the coming coup,
The coming unpleasantness.
for lack of a better word, I will ask you to be diligent in this task so that we may be as efficient as possible and perhaps preserve as many lives as possible in the process. You maybe think me not capable of such concern, but I assure you I am as a unifier of my people.
Saba gives you this look like maybe she's not buying it, but nods. It is
Yeah.
best to preserve life. Yes.
Also, like I'm wearing at this point, it's like extra ridiculous because like there's things that are meant to be like, like rings or something that I have like, in my hair and just like all sorts of like strange misused adornments.
Yeah, totally. You're like,
But I'm like dead serious, like super deadpan about everything. And
well, and that's a great thing where you're just making these choices about something, and we're like, oh, this would make an excellent necklace, and they're like, that's a belt, sir, and you're like, fuck you, it is.
yeah.
It's a necklace now. Okay,
Yeah.
Sabencia, what do you think?
I mean, I think that Octavian is a vain idiot.
It says there, right on his character sheet. We all know
It's
this.
literally true.
It's right there.
Yeah, and so Saba just like looks him up and down, just says, "You look ridiculous," and then like literally disappears.
Elf out. Okay. So what do you want to do? You want to go and
Yeah, I'll go spy on them.
okay. So your intent is what? What do you want to do?
Also, like Octavian was super vague about
Oh
what he
yeah.
actually wants here.
Yep. I think something about like troop movements or the strength of the forces, or you're
But
kind of
like, what the fuck does that even mean? It's not like they organize into an army and go march around the fucking
that's.
courtyard.
I believe Octavian, willingly or otherwise, has left that up to you to interpret.
Cool. So I'm like, all right, he wants me to assassinate Marta and like see if it's doable.
That's a thing you could.
That's the subtext.
I
that Saba
did
is
use
picking up.
the terms patterns of Marta's inner circle as well.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, this is what he actually wants, and like, yeah, just kill Marta and everyone will fall. Yeah, okay, cool, I get it. So I'm gonna go and like figure out how to get at Marta.
Okay. So your intent here is to discover an opportunity in which you could assassinate Marta.
Hmm.
Okay. Perfect. So
And like a systemic one, right? Because it's about like the pattern of movement.
exactly. Yeah. Actually, elves would make great like snipers or assassins because an ambush is all about just being patient and waiting, right? And being like, I'm gonna sit here for a year, and then oh, there you
Yeah.
are. Now you're dead. Like in a year, what's that? Fucking nothing. Okay. So I think that the skill here, it's really not just stealth. Like you can obviously fork your like stealthiness into it.
But it would be like observation, right?
Yeah, I think it's observation, because you're looking for a hidden opportunity, and like tactics or strategy, hunting skills would be appropriate to fork in. What do you got?
Yeah, weirdly, I don't have hunting.
Yeah. Well,
Even
elves
though I
don't
was
really
trained.
elves don't really hunt, right? They just like let the
Yeah,
animals
the
come to them
bounty.
and just lie down and be like, okay, just go ahead and throw me in the oven.
I'm very delicious this time
I'm
of
super
year.
delicious. Yeah. Okay. So what? You're gonna use observation. You want to fork in
Stealthy.
stealthy. Okay.
Um, Is it appropriate to fork in bow? Because I'm looking for like a way to
Mm,
assassinate her with a bow, like to shoot her.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Um, so I've got just stealthy.
Okay.
Um, does my tracking skill come into this in any way?
Sure. Yeah, you could fork tracking. That's a hunting type of a skill.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then it's an observation roll, so I can't fork observation, obviously.
Correct.
Um, yeah, I think that's it. Unless fealty wise is relevant.
Nah.
I know about who pays her homage. But anyways, yeah. So 2 forks on my observation roll.
Okay.
What is my
I'm gonna oppose you with her either strategy or I guess it'd be strategy, something like that, because she's trying to like it would be security in a game
It's
that
like
had
a
that
security
skill.
skill, right?
Yeah. So I'll call it that. We'll use strategy for that. Let me see. Yeah, strategy. It's about like guiding armies, moving army unseen through an area. Yeah, I think we'll use it in this case. Because she's not being stealthy, but she's opposing you by like the structures of protection that exist around her. So she's gonna have some dice in that. Nope, that's a bunny. Fuck you, bunny. You're useless, Marta. So she's a military leader. I figure she'll have some strategy. And I will fork in. She's got clan-wise, and she's surrounded by her people. And then she's got help from her like main advisor, Aki, first husband. He's kind of like her bodyguard, so he's gonna help. She's got +2, but against an invisible elf. I mean, I don't trust her chances. All right, damn. All right, I got 4 successes.
Well, I'm not actually rolling that many dice because I'm using observation.
Okay.
If stealthy was the main thing, I would be doing better. But anyways, is it also appropriate for me to fork in Threen of the Chameleon in this case?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
In the same way that
Even though it's a
stealthy.
spell song, I'm essentially like I'm using it, so it's giving me an advantage.
Yeah,
Die.
and we're seeing lots of like her and her bodyguard like walking past you as you're like cloaked against the wall.
Just standing still
Yeah.
in an out of the way spot. Okay, cool. So I'm going to be rolling observation, and I've got 4 fork dice, and my ob is 4. I do it.
Hella. Yeah, you did it. Okay. So, yeah, you observe her several times. Like she has these like conversations with Aki about like her private space, and she like she values having like her own time. And you notice that there are some nights, maybe like the same night on a regular occurrence, she goes at like high, when the moon is high, she goes to the walking crypt and like prays to the ancestors, and she does so alone. She leaves Aki behind. There aren't that many people around. You've seen her with Habani there once or twice, so there's a chance that he might be there, but that's your best bet. That's an opportunity you could take to get her. She's out in the open. It's night. It would be easier for you to hide, and yeah, that would be the time.
Cool. And so I let Octavian know about this.
Okay.
Just like talking to him quietly one night.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, Octavian, you get all that information from Saba and Sia. How do you frame it? So are you like, I could kill her, or is it like she's at her weakest? Like, how do you? Because I mean, you weren't ordered to find an opportunity to assassinate her, so you're delivering information
very flatly in the same way that he just like talked around the point. I'm just like, she's always like basically alone at this time at night on like in this place. You can approach this way. and I just lay it out, so it's like the only thing unsaid is, and then you kill her that way, like, so it's just like every step is laid out, and I just do it very deadpan because Saba is like not at all stoked about it.
So Octavian, what's your response to that intelligence?
I'm like, you've done well, Elf. I appreciate this intelligence. We shall have to convene with Rubati and determine if our support with these people will sustain the trauma of an upset in their government structure. But we must act hastily because we've been here far too long, and the Fire Clan must move on from this place and unify those peoples that are beyond our present reach. Do you have any opinion of how we might proceed here? I ask it willingly.
Yeah, and she like leans in very close, like kind of uncomfortably close. Says, "Oh, you want my opinion now?"
Like,
It is good that you are asking now when no one else is around. It's fate.
when you lean in close, I like I think I step back and I sort of pull my my sort of coat like sort of more closed, and I'm like, do not breathe too heavily upon my garb. This was a pretty coin in the market to the west, and it sort of disregard the comment on
So
the
good.
opinion offered.
I love,
Yeah.
I love
Sort
your
of-
response is don't breathe on me.
So straightening, I like continue just sort of straightening up and do like a bit of the like Picard maneuver and
Yes.
stand up, and I'm just like, perhaps it was a mistake asking your opinion on matters that you do not understand, though your intelligence seems accurate enough to guide my actions from here onward. You may step to the side of our coming actions and do what you will while I coordinate with my agents who are willing to support me as any party member should.
And I just like narrow my eyes. I'm just like, Octavian, you made it clear that you wanted to do this your way, and I've been helping you do it your way. The lessons that you will learn here are yours to learn, and I hope that you will take them to heart. Tell me what you need me to do, and I will do it. But do not dance around the topic. It doesn't suit you.
I feel you underappreciate the time I have taken in securing the hearts and minds of these plain people, and I do not mean
Adorning yourself in their baubles does not win their hearts. It makes you look the fool.
And
of course. I'm sure you know better the matters of humans than I, of course. So
And the conqueror Octavian came wearing our garb incorrectly, and lo, did he smite us into the earth. But did he look a fool upon doing so?
I think
I
I
have difficulty understanding your ways sometimes. Like look you up and down. It can get very confusing. But I've seen many humans come and go. I've observed at a distance, certainly.
Right, which is what you just did for like several days in pursuit of this moment of weakness.
It's kind of her point. Like,
Yeah.
I could stalk and kill you as well.
Exactly. Just like stretching your bowstring threateningly. I could do it. I could just
Now
do
then,
it.
do you want her murdered?
And at that, I like sort of start, and I'm like, do not take me for an inglorious murderer of the leaders of men. This is not how a knight composes himself. No, your intelligence gathered is for my purposes, but it is not one of subversion. Any military tactician must gather such. However, we will move on her soon, but it will not be by cover of darkness. It will be when the upper hand is ours, but it will be an honorable exchange.
I kind of quirk an eyebrow at that. Like, so there's a right way to go about murdering people, then, in your estimation.
And that is what makes you incapable of understanding how our civilization can rise above that of these people, and perhaps you may take that lesson to your elves.
I love it. I love how you managed to turn that into an "I'm better than you" conversation. Like, how dare you, madam, you filthy elf with your assassinations? That's so
Yeah, and so I was just like, "Are you threatening me now? Will you come and claim the throne of the elves in the same way?" I think not, old man.
I'm like, I have no desire for the throne of the elves, though I do understand that the elves need us, or else you would not be the envoy you are today, with us, traveling here and there in our wake.
Need is such a strong word, Octavian. There have been others before you, other peoples that have risen and fallen. We are patient, and we can wait. I could come back in 100 years, and maybe your grandsons or daughters would be more willing to listen and more able to learn.
And I'm just like, patience is no longer necessary. Certainly after having your report, we will move tomorrow. This town will be overthrown, and we will unify its people, and then we will move on in the name of the Fire Clan.
I like how you're like, I'm done talking about this. I'm so done talking about this. It's revolution time. Yeah, look what you made me do. Awesome. All right, so if that's the plan, sometime before this, the crafts folk have been hard at work. So I want to give Bernard and Gretelin a chance to do like one more roll before we end the session and hand stuff out. So Bernard, what's something else that you want to accomplish prior to the coup?
I did want to take a look at the crypt.
Yes.
And there was I'm trying to remember the layout of it that we know. I know there's a wall of symbols, like a big stone.
So the crypt is like a monolith. It's a four-sided like prism, essentially, a rectangular prism with a like pyramid on top.
Okay.
It's like every big black obelisk. And there's a square base with on two sides, like it's got basically circular tunnels drilled through it. And then on all sides, it's carved with strange symbols. It sits in the stone in the middle of the. It's not really in the middle anymore. The gravity is sort of like blobular. It's all shifting to one side. But it sits in the ostensible middle of the town.
I think I don't trust in these people's interpretation of their own myths, basically. And I want to study the symbols myself and draw my own conclusions on what they say.
Okay, sure. So if you'd like, this is going to be, it sounds like you're making a symbology test.
Yes.
Okay.
I have all the skills.
So the obstacle for symbology is going to be, let me look at the obs here. Obscure religious symbols. It's going to be ob 4.
Okay.
But if you want to, like, you're not being rushed, so you can make a test using what is it called? Acting.
Take my time.
Carefully.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Here it is. Yeah.
Plus one die.
Yeah. So it takes basically like double as long.
Yeah.
So it's a what kind of skill is symbology? Is it it's an academic skill?
Yeah, if you're asking what the root is, I can look it up.
Research, yeah, it's basically you're researching it. So it's going to take you days of study at minimum. So
Okay.
if you take like a long time, if you take like a week to study this thing, where all you do every day is just like look at the symbols and write them down and interpret them and do study and look through your books and all that stuff.
Uh, Based on what we've already established about me also writing Sam Seaborn writing speeches for Rubati, is that fit? Because I would like to do that.
Sorry, which do you want to do?
I would like to take a week and
Yeah,
study it. If
definitely.
that's great, let's do it.
Cool. So, that gives you, if you take extra time, it gives you an extra die.
Nice.
And then what do you want to, do you want to fork?
I can use history, I think.
Yeah, you can fork history.
I think research means like going into the library and researching with books. I have some books with me on my person. Can I research using the books that I have on me?
Yeah, if you bought them with resource points, yeah, you can use
Yeah.
them for that. Sure. Yeah, you can
Awesome.
research.
And that is it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your intent here is what? To discover the truth of the walking
Yeah.
crypt? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I want to know what this thing is all about. And you said op 4. Okay. Oh, I only have 3 successes.
Ooh, okay.
And no
no
sixes.
sixes. Okay. So you get you're missing like a crucial piece of information, and I know exactly what it is. So the walking crypt has not been changed in eons, right? They don't count in numbers when it was made. So it was made, it's part of the creation myth of this tribe that it was like made by the founders of the tribe in eons past, in the pre-mythic time, and it was used to contain something powerful. It was built around something that it's like a shielded box. Basically, it's a stone crypt for it. There's a dead thing inside, but you can't. That's the symbol you can't untangle. Like it says explicitly right on there what is contained, and you don't know if it's a name or a proper noun, but it just comes out as a garble of symbols. Like you can't make out whatever is contained inside this thing. It might be a ghost, it might be a demon, it might be just some old bones. You don't know. And there's a command basically etched into it that they're sworn that someone particularly is sworn to make sure that it always moves with the tribe. It's never left behind by the clan, and that it is protected to a man. Like that if it's the last thing, like if they're being raided or whatever, it's the last thing that they defend. They have to protect it from being taken away. Yeah, and then there's also that myth that Habani and Gahal both mentioned, where it's also meant to be the key to the great world beyond. When the world ends, the apocalypse starts at the walking crypt, right? When the world is over, it'll be the last thing because they have to protect it. It'll be the last thing still around, and then when the last person in charge of it dies, the last of the tribe dies, then something, whatever it is, will be let out, and that's the thing. So,
Wow.
yep.
Okay. I will, by the way, relay that to the rest of the party because I want them to know that we should not be probably opening this crypt.
Well, or maybe you should, right? Like
I know, but I don't think we should.
sure.
Well, or does Bernard actually? I don't even go that far because Bernard's actually really should delay making a judgment on that.
Yeah, Vernon's like, let me just. So
I mean, I'm kind of curious.
Here's the thing. Yeah, like remember you failed. That was a failure, right? You were it's like the only thing that really matters is like what's inside the box, Bernard. Like there's something really important and magical in there. What is it? All the other horse shit that doesn't matter, but there's this one thing, and I think you lie awake at night, realizing that you don't know. Like it haunts you that there's this thing that like
I eat my meals looking at the monolith and just like studying it.
The margins of your books are like absently scrawled with like that one name, that symbol or whatever that you can't figure out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm probably drinking a little bit to deal with that anxiety.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool. All right, and then Gretelin, do you wanna try to make some things?
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's do it. So you use black metal.
Black Metal Artifice.
Black
yeah.
metal artifice. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let me get a page number for it so I can tell you.
Which is my band name.
Yeah, black metal artifice. I was thinking when I was saying it, I was thinking black metal alchemist, but I'm like, that's a different thing and not even that name. 529 or 260. Okay. Okay, so this is the skill with which the dwarves create all their mundane and household metals. However, artificers know a secret or two and can imbue even their pots and horseshoes with intense quality. By using the obs below, you can create various toolkits. So, what do you want to make? So, black metal artifice is for making like mundane stuff. There's the two things that you want to make, right?
Yes. One being a mask. It's not necessarily a forge mask.
Sure.
It's like a brass plate over your face with eye holes that looks cool. It's
Okay.
not actually like impressive like mine is, but
I mean, the thing is,
to her it will be.
Yeah, it becomes impressive, right? So, what is your intent? What do you want it to symbolize, right? Do you want it to be like the mask of the new leader of the tribe? Like, is this
Yeah,
is the crown, right?
Basically the crown. I want it to embolden her, even though she already thinks that she deserves it anyway. I want it to be like a
symbol for the new regime.
her power. Yes.
Cool. Okay. So it doesn't sound like this is black metal artifice. It sounds like this is something else. What other crafting skills
I just have. Let me see.
There's one for making weapons, right?
you have? Yeah. I'm just sorry. I'm looking at
Yes. No, Dwarven rune script is like reading, right? Etching, fire and steel wise, fire building. There is one. Oh, Dwarven. No, oh, it's war art. That's what it is.
war art. Yeah. Okay.
That's the one where I can
Nice.
make weapons and stuff.
This counts. The like mask of a war leader. Okay. Let me
Yeah.
find the obs for that. And then the other thing we can talk about in a second. But that's you want to make something ornamental with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It might end up being an ornamental weapon because that's what you're good at.
Yeah.
You can make mundane, like useful, good mundane stuff, like horses that make your horseshoes that make your horse run faster or whatever. But
Yeah.
for ornamental stuff, it's all weapons and war shit,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty cool. All right, war art. Let's see. I think this is I like a form of armor. So beating wicked blades and unyielding armor. Yeah, you're making head armor for her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So like a light mail, a pot helmet is 1 ob. Light mail armor is ob 2. Heavy mail armor is ob 3. Plated mail is ob 4. So what do you have in war art?
I have 2 die.
Okay, and you're going to be forking in black metal artifice.
Uh-huh.
What else do you want to fork in?
I'd like to fork in etching because I'm going to be doing like intricate.
I mean, this is your jam. You got all kind of like forkable stuff. You got a ton of wises too, right? So that's okay. So that's
Yeah.
black metal artifice, etching. What else you got?
Etching. Fire and steel wise.
Definitely.
I don't know if dwarven art wise makes sense.
Yeah,
Because
it
it's like a
is a
skill.
dwarven art. Yep. This is like quite literally the thing your character is good at. So got lots of skills for it.
I don't know what soot wise is.
It's like
What does that
it's a lot.
mean?
You know things about soot. I don't think
I
it
know.
applies in this case, but like yeah,
Cleaning and
I know,
maintaining
like-
the
both
fort.
in the literal and metaphorical sense. Like you know about things that are left after the passing of flame, but you also know about like ash and soot and like yeah. So I think so much in this case. So it sounds like 4.
I think so.
Okay, so you got 6 dice total.
Fire building?
Uh,
I mean, I have to start a fire.
yeah, I don't think so in this case. I think that's like a thing that just happens anyway.
All right, so 4.
Yeah, so 6 dice total. So basically, do you want this to be how much armor do you want to make for her? Like, it's going to be ornamental and cool looking, but I guess the other thing too is keep in mind if you add 1 ob, you can make it dwarven made. So if she gets hit with it and it gets damaged, she gets to re-roll a 1. Like it makes it like an obviously like dwarven made mask. So it become more symbolic. Like people will look at it and be able to like know this was made by a dwarf.
Mm-hmm. So that would put me at
Depends on
ob 3?
how big you want it to be. Like if you want to just meet a light mail, so like an ornamental mask with like a coif and like mantle of links of mail. That would be ob 1, it'd be ob 2, it'd be ob 3 if you make it dwarven made. Yeah.
I think ob 3 then, because I want it to be really impressive.
Okay.
I don't so much care if it actually protects her or not. I just want it to
Sure.
be like
Yeah.
really awesome looking.
Okay. So dwarf made, light chain, helm, mask thingy, wicked.
Mask thingy.
Mask of the Fire Queen. Okay. So cool. Go ahead and roll.
Ob 3.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Nice.
I did it, you guys.
You did it. You can.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Also, war art should automatically be open-ended, I believe.
Yes, it is a magical skill.
So you can check the little box next to it and all your future rolls.
Yeah, and re-roll that 6.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So you've crafted the mask. Good work. And then there was something else you wanted to make, right?
Yeah, this is just like a little amulet, like a little.
So a knife is ob 1, a hammer, axe, or sword is ob 2, spear or polearm is ob 3. What do you think? What do you want to make? It's like the exact same roll.
Pretty little dagger sounds cool.
Yeah, you want to make a knife? Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you want to, you can make it.
Glove.
You can make it like as specially sharp, so it can like punch through armor.
Whoa.
You could add a balance die. Like your abilities to like customize gear is like pretty high, depending on how you want to go with the ob. So a knife is ob 1. If you want to give it a plus VA, it'll be ob 2. You could make it ob 4 if you want to add a balance die, so it gives a +1 to anyone who wields it. Or you can give a +1 power, so it's like better at killing.
So it's intended for Marta. So
Okay.
I don't really want it to be good.
Yeah, so you can go the
It's
inverse.
just pretty.
You can go the inverse and have it look good, but bend and break when it's used.
Or like be really awkward to wield or something.
Well, yeah, like,
it's like
if you want to
bizarrely
make a trap knife that's just like it looks awesome, but when she goes to use it, it just snaps. That's the thing you could do. You could make it. You could fool her.
Yeah.
You wanna do that? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say ob 3 to make the like
Okay.
false knife.
Am I rolling the same stuff?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much exactly the same roll.
All right, so it's war art 4 and ob 3.
Yes.
Ob 3.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Uh-oh. All right.
Whoa!
So
Whoa!
here's the thing. You still make the knife, but I don't think that it like you can't, maybe you can't bring yourself to make a knife that isn't good.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, this will totally break under like 1,000,000 pounds of pressure.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. This will break in a volcano. It's fine. Yeah. So you finish it and you realize like, yeah, you just couldn't bring yourself to like to finish the job. There was a moment where you had to introduce a flaw into the blade and you just couldn't. You're like, no, I
Couldn't
have
bring
to make this
myself
knife
to do it.
awesome.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. God, just wait until Marta's stabbing Octavian with it and you're like,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful and amazing. My knife is great.
Whoopsie.
Cool. Okay. Awesome. So you've crafted your weapon. So there'll still be like a little bit of time, I think, before the night of the. I want to give everybody a chance to make sure they do all their pre-revolutionary shit before we go to the night of the coup. So you'll be able to go to Tomsey and try to like institute some instability there. But we have reached our time for the day. So let's talk
I
about.
want to keep playing.
I know, me too.
Ever.
5 more minutes.
So no, we're at a save point now. We're gonna save and we'll play again later. Oh, Mom, they don't make games like that anymore. You can't save. Let's hand out some Fate and Persona. So, Bernard, did you pursue but not resolve any of your beliefs?
I think so. So that belief that I was working on initially, I edited to say, and I cannot do this if it's not a good belief, but I must make myself indispensable to Octavian, and I'll do that by helping him with the coup and taking credit.
Okay. So this sounds actually like two beliefs. Right? It sounds like you want to make yourself indispensable, and
Yeah.
and I'll do that by helping with the coup. That's a belief.
Gotcha.
There's another. I would cut the taking credit part, and that can be like for the next session. Maybe you'll be like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So I think I started working on that, helping him with the coup.
Yeah, the coup itself will
we're
have
not
to
done,
resolve.
so,
Yeah,
yeah.
for that to be a thing. Okay. I think
Wait,
you.
it'll need to resolve for me to get fate points?
Oh no, for you to get Persona, I think you get Fate for that one for sure.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Also, Fate, but not. If you had succeeded in that role, you probably could have. You would have gotten your Persona for the next one, but you get just
Yeah.
Fate for it. So the tribesmen hold a powerful secret, and I want to study it more. Now you can change it, right? Like to be like, I'll find out what's inside the walking crypt, no matter the cost, or whatever.
Yeah.
Definitely think about that between sessions.
Okay.
I was like, please open the crypt.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't do it, I can just make it. I can just make it break in the chaos. So, I would like you to do it, but okay. Any of your instincts get you in trouble, or cause complication for your character today?
Let's see. Gosh, I didn't write. Actually, no.
Okay.
Oh, well, I always take the opportunity to learn something new. I don't know yet if it's gotten me into trouble.
Yeah, I mean, if you had just been like, well, if I can't
I'm
figure
gonna
out
walk
this.
right in the crypt.
Well, if you had said to me like, oh, I want Persona for my belief and I want Fate for the instinct, you could be like, cool, I go find a pickaxe and I just hack this thing open.
Right.
Like that's a dangerous but Fate and Persona earning way to go about that.
Yeah.
And then any of your traits?
No, I was a know-it-all with
Yeah, you can have
Describe.
Persona for being such a fucking asshole to that guy. Definitely.
Yeah.
Like that was intolerable. You were so annoying. Take your Persona or your Fate and go home. It's yeah. Yeah, I
You
think
earned it, you jerk.
You earned it by
Yep.
being
I was successfully a jerk.
successfully
Best jerk
know-it-all.
ever.
Yeah, good work. All right, cool. Also, for your character sheet, in between some
Yes.
homework between sessions, can you move the traits that you bought from the character sheet over to your character traits on the first page?
Yes.
Cool. I just want to, because then I can figure out which ones are what kind of trait,
I
and which
noticed
ones you
today
actually
that
bought.
I'd never done that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. Octavian.
Yeah, I got to do that as well, by the way, with the traits.
The traits. Yeah, that's okay.
Anyway, my beliefs.
Yeah. Did you earn Fate or Persona for any of them?
So my first one, I don't think so. And honestly, I'm probably going to rewrite that just because I feel like it's not very, unless there's like a very specific scenario presented that's like,
Yeah, I like it, but you can always just take it and put it on a notepad file somewhere and bring it back later. Like you can just
Yeah.
really hyper focus your beliefs. That's totally okay.
So my second belief, though, even though it didn't come to permanent silencing, I feel like the duel of wits was definitely that sort of situation.
Oh yeah. Fate for this one for sure. You've been doing this all session, right? Telling people to shut up, literally and figuratively, planning the permanent shutting up of your enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Persona or Fate for your second one or your third one too, because you're working towards removing her.
Okay. Yeah. And for some reason, I have that in the wrong place, I think. Oh wait.
Yeah, so belief 2 and belief 3 you can take a point for. And then instincts.
Um,
I feel like instinct 2 maybe. Well, let me ask, because there was that scene with Saba and Sia, the whole like "don't breathe on me" thing. I feel like because that was you
yeah.
being like
Plus, like
prioritizing your penis.
tangentially, just my like preoccupation with finding new
Oh.
things to place on my body.
Yeah, of course. Yes, yeah, definitely
Like-
take fate for that for sure.
Yeah, covering yourself in stupid crap.
Yeah.
Okay, and then any of your traits.
Be nice if they were listed right here.
It's very convenient when you do that.
Yeah.
So I kind of invoked my like, I guess, stature, my like, sort of. First of all, I don't know how your grace actually comes into play, but I feel like I imply it a lot in dealing.
If you wanna earn fate for your grace, demand that people address you correctly more often,
Okay.
because people are
So
getting
it's
people are
very,
getting away with using your given name. Like technically, let me describe this for you. Like you're within your rights to like arrest and or murder people who don't do this. So to fail to refer to them by their title is to lose one's head or the sanctity of one's mortal soul. So yeah, someone has to call you your grace. Like when Bernard is like, when you're like, Bernard, go do this, and Bernard isn't like, yes, your grace, you can be like, die. Right?
Off with his head.
Yeah, be pissier
Okay.
about that, and you will get points for it every time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than that, I don't know.
I was gonna say,
Oh, you know what? I feel like impulsive
Yeah.
came directly into play in the last argument I had with Saba and Sia.
yeah, deciding
Because I
to just
bumped up
revolution. The timeline is advanced.
Yeah.
You were rude to me, so now I'm just gonna go cause the revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Take a fate for that for sure.
All right.
God.
Cool. All right. So on the inhuman side of the table, Gretelin, let's talk about yours.
Sure.
So, humans are our equals. I will arm them with the tools they need to fight. Do you feel like you did that?
I worked toward it.
I mean, I feel like
Right, I made some
You
stuff.
you
literally made a knife for your enemy.
yes,
Yeah.
and you made a mask for your ally that's like a tool that she needs to fight in the metaphorical sense. Like I think you could clear this one and take persona. Though, well, I guess you're referring to all humans, so maybe you're not done. Definitely take fate
It's-
for it.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of intended it to be my like end game one.
Yes. Okay. So take fate for it.
Okay.
And if you want to earn persona for it more often, you can be more specific about which humans, so that you can move from belief to belief.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Okay. You get fate for the second one too, befriending and plains people, because you worked towards it but haven't made friends with them yet.
Right. Trying. It wasn't really in a situation where I needed to choose whether
That
to
will
fight
be
or not.
that'll be your opportunity next time, I think. And you'll also have an opportunity for your oath vis-a-vis like someone deserving love. You're gonna have a conversation with someone who desperately wants someone else to love them. So
Yes.
cool. And then traits, because I don't think either of your instincts came into play.
Didn't really get in trouble today.
I mean, there was that whole thing with the elf and like
I did. I put it on in response to what was going on, though. It wasn't like a causation thing, so I feel like I don't really get that one.
yeah. I mean, I feel like I don't know. Let's look at your traits. So I feel like of all of these, you're determined, right? Like you came up against some obstacles and like pushed through them in a way that was like very focused, right? You just had one thing you wanted to do and you did that thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd give you a fate for determined.
Okay, cool.
Cool. Okay. I also wanted to, because we can kind of like at our like leisure. I'd like to nominate Jess for a point of persona for embodiment or whatever it's called for the whole like desperate sing more scene.
Oh yeah,
I really
totally.
like that. I thought that was really
That
cool.
was so good.
Oh,
Cool.
thank you.
Okay,
that was
cool.
really cool.
Yeah, take a persona for that.
Okay.
And then
Guys.
Saba and Sia.
Yeah, that's me.
How's that stuff going for you?
Okay, so my first belief, I feel like I actually did the thing. Because I was not so grandiose in my claims to be like, make Octavian a perfect angel. I was just like, just
Right,
make
you
him
know how to
less
write
evil,
beliefs.
right? And so I did change his behavior by having the argument with him, even though I didn't win. I was able to like get concessions from him and have
So
him.
Octavian's actions will destroy the planesfolk way of life. I must steer the child to a more enlightened approach.
And I lobbied for stuff that would preserve their culture rather than anything else.
I definitely feel like you pursued this one, but I don't know. Like, did you steer Octavian to a more enlightened approach? Do you think he's more enlightened because of your influence?
He's getting there. I mean, he was just
I'm
gonna be
not
like,
gonna
let's
give
just
you.
kill
I'm not gonna give you persona for getting there, but you can have the fate for it.
I mean, I wasn't like I will fundamentally change him. I was just like, I'll make him approach this in a less horrible way.
I believe you
I feel
said
like
more. I believe you said more enlightened and not less horrible. Less horrible would have been the smarter move, but you can keep working on it. There's still time.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
I'm still working on my gift of elven craft,
Yep.
and I actually made some rolls towards it this
Definitely
time.
fate on that one.
I failed the roll, but I tried to get answers about Bernard's fate from the stars.
Yes. So fate for that one too. You get lots of fate.
I think my sharing of knowledge got me in trouble because the one time that I was asked my opinion, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll tell you how shitty I think you are."
Well, and also like there was a misinterpretation of your knowledge, right? Like you're sharing your knowledge, but you're not sharing your knowledge in a way that's always helpful to people. Like the whole assassination thing, where you're like, "Cool," because you didn't actually do what was asked. You just did what you thought was the thing that you wanted to do. Yeah, I like that. That's good.
I mean, I assumed he was the barbarian that he is.
Yeah.
And then in terms of earning fate for traits, I would say either etharchal, stern, or matriarchal. Like I kind of play those up anytime I talk to Octavian, where I'm just like, I'm your mom. I know everything. Blah, blah,
I would
blah.
definitely give you the fate for matriarchal, for sure.
Cool.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, and then like also you have quiet, right? So quiet will be one of those ones when you refuse to speak, when you should otherwise have something to say. When someone looks to you for like, what should we do? And you're like, no.
I mean, it's also it's a call-on trait for stealthy as
Yeah,
well.
but you can also, you can always,
play
it doesn't
that.
matter what kind of trait it is, you can always earn fate for having it complicate your shit. Cool. This was a great session. I had a really good time. There was a lot of cool stuff happening in this one. I think we're really like putting the gears to the system. We got to do so much cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really fun. The Duel of Wits was really good. We're like doing some like timeline stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, I'm excited for the next session when we see the fire ignite. Cool. Well, let's say our goodbyes. I will go and do my start in the thread job. Jess, why don't you start?
Sure.
Rock and roll.
I'm Jess. I'm Sylvan on the internet. Thank you for watching. I play D&D on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern on twitch.tv/misclicks. So watch that. I roll a lot better on that show for some reason. I don't often advertise it, but I do in fact have an Instagram. I'm trying to use it more often. I like gardening and eating ice cream, so if you like pictures of gardening and ice cream, then follow my Instagram. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. It was really super fun. I love playing with this crowd. Andrew, take it away.
That's me. I'm Andrew. You can follow me on Twitter at Comedian Crow. You can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/actualfactual. I will not be streaming for a while, for like another couple weeks. But when I come back and I'm streaming, I will be streaming me painting miniatures.
Ooh, yay!
I'm gonna get set up so I can do that. And I'm going to also stream me learning how to use a free to use open source 3D modeling program called Blender. Blender? Is it Blender? Anyways, the one that's free. I think it's called Blender.
Is what it's called? Tinder, Grinder? Which
I'm gonna learn to use Grinder
Is the E
for
missing?
3D modeling.
E-R.
yeah.
What about Suzanne? Who is this person?
Hey guys, I'm Suzanne Wallace. I'm the brand manager for Roll20. You can find me on Twitter at I am a Snarky Pants. And don't forget to sign up for Roll20Con, by the way, which is coming up on June 3rd and will run for 24 hours. Every minute that is June 3rd will be Roll20Con in Pacific time. Registration is now open, so GMs can set up their games and players can sign up for community games that have already been created. Just go to roll20con.net to find out more. That's my spiel.
Thanks, Suzanne.
Yeah, Colin.
Take us home, chosen one.
Naturally. I'm Colin, and on the internet, I am Sunder. That's with a V, not a U. Twitter is the home base of said internet operations. So check it out and tell your friends about Burning Wheel. I feel like more people should experience this, colonialistic mission. if for no other reason than to learn from our mistakes and do not set off on this path.
Aw.
Everyone knows so much about Burning Wheel now. That's so easy.
Yeah.
And
y'all are
that's
pros.
pretty much it. Thanks for
Cool.
watching.
Yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. This is like in my like highlights episodes. This was really fun. I really like this one. We got to do lots of fun stuff. My name's Adam. I GM shit. You can follow me on Twitter at Skinny Ghost or on Twitch at twitch.tv/Adam Coble. Streaming games. I'm playing Persona 4 right now, so lots of cool anime stuff. I'll be playing in a game and running 2 games for Roll20Con. So if you're interested in those, come check them out. And as always, you can follow Roll20 on Twitter for all the news and excitement at Roll20 app. I also have, because I realize I haven't mentioned it yet, for folks who are getting into GMing, I have kind of like a call-in show that I do. We've got 10 episodes on my YouTube. It's called Office Hours. So if you want to go and watch that, or if you have questions about GMing, you can submit them on my website, and I will read them out loud and answer them on the show. So come and check that out. Otherwise, we will see you next Thursday for more Ryotama, and we're back for the Burning Wheel next week. So thanks for coming, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.